applications.
Thank you. Next, please. Next one, please.
Uh, yeah, hello everyone. Nikhil this side. I'm currently working as a business analyst, but not in insurance domain. Though
Mhm.
I've worked in insurance companies, but not as a BA. I was like a client relationship manager
Mhm.
for around 5+ years,
Okay.
and it's been in totality. I've been working from last 7.5 years. Currently working as a BA from last 2 years, and that into different domain other than insurance. And regarding Guideware, I have theoretical knowledge
Okay.
uh, about the modules. Since I'm a BA, I'm actually trying to get some understanding on Guidewire modules so
Okay.
that I can be skilled as a BA also. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, this is Shavi. So I'm currently an insurance advisor, and I'm working generally work on Guidewire, and I'm just looking to upskill and become a Guidewire BA. And
Okay.
I've also done a full stack developer course as well recently.
Okay. You are a developer earlier?
No, no, no. I'm an advisor, but then I just right now recently I've just done a course which was a
Guideware
full stack
advisor means what do you do?
as an insurance advisor. So we work on Guidewire, we
Okay.
advise
Okay.
on so
Okay.
yeah.
Insurance advisor. Okay.
Yeah, insurance. So anything related to insurance is what we work on. So we don't do the development bit. I would say I'm the user of Guidewire. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. Next one. Next. Anyone, please?
Yeah, this is Ram. I'm working in the BP industry in the property and casualty domain.
Mhm.
So under the rating, I work for assisting the underwriter in rating part. So I just want to switch to BA. I do have a little bit of knowledge on the BA. So I
Mhm.
just want to transition to BA Guidewire BA.
Okay.
I don't have any. Let's say that I can say that coding or any test knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. Next. Anyone apart?
I think that's it.
Okay. Right. So let me introduce myself. This is Ram here. Uh, I'm going to teach you Guideware. Uh, because as I could see, like many people who are attending here were already, uh, some people were already into insurance, some people were known about the Guideware part. I think maybe one or two people were new to this. So let me today, because this is a first this thing, wherein today I'm going to explain you, because for this layman perspective, do remember, right? So I'm not going right from the Guideware Policy Center or something of that. Today I'm going to explain you the importance of few things. One is about importance of property casualty insurance and what are the different applications do we have now and then, and why Guideware is so prominent, and what exactly being a business analyst from the Guideware perspective that we need to perform. Right. So these are the 4 questions that we need to answer today. So if you have any questions in regard to this, you can always uh, ask me so that I will answer those questions to you. Right. So let's start with property and casualty insurance, because as in when the market of property and casualty insurance is very larger across world, right? So either it can be US market or Canada, or it can be an Indian market. Property and casualty insurances have many services, like we have property, casualty, life, annuity, marine insurance, vehicle, commercial lines, personal lines, we call vehicle loans, vehicle insurances, all these. So when a property and casualty insurance industry as a whole, I see, right? So not as an organization. Industry you see, or a sector you see, sector you see, to manage different services. Either it can be policies, or it can be billing, it can be claims, it can be underwriting, or it can be of anything. There are applications required, maybe for each and every services, whether they are choosing one application or they are taking all these services in one application. That is depends on the choice of the organization. One to another, it differs sometimes. So, if we see property and casualty insurance as a whole, what are the services we see? Because either policy renewal has to be made or policies has to be registered, right? So policy cancellations or any policy developments. For everything, there are softwares. Normally, we used to have a lot of softwares, old versions, old softwares. We have something like mainframe legacy systems organizations are using for a very long time. But the major reason nowadays you see from couple of years onwards, wherein you see most of the requirements you see are landed for two things. I think hope people are already in the Guidewire, you'll be knowing that. Two things. One is about the configuration part. Second is about the integration part. As far as the job requirement is concerned, I'm talking about which industry is looking for. Configuration means configuring the application according to the business rules and government mandates of the application. Because Guidewire is a product by itself. Because we have many products, I'm not specifying here as a Guidewire. As an example, they can transform from old legacy systems to the new application. Assume that it's a property and casualty insurance company. They were having very good market in personal lines, personal auto lines, for example. Now they want to switch over to commercial auto lines or property insurance. They want to increase their market, which is part of their business expansion, which is part of their business improvements based on the strategic decisions which management takes. They have to make some subsequent changes in the application. That is something essentially required. They have to make some application changes. Existing applications may not be so compatible to make changes because, as an example, I say, right, so they are using some mainframe application which was developed more than 15, 20 years back. Making changes in the existing application will be something difficult. So, they want some product which normally they want to hire, because developing a product from the scratch is an expensive affair. It's not simple to understand because you have to explain this from the scratch to the solution provider so that subsequently they'll provide it. So that is something not feasible. That is not something possible in all the occasions. In this regard, so organizations are choosing some products, but the products require some customization. That is what organizations are looking for. They want to customize their products according to their business rules. Let's say they are not providing services in one region where, according to the regulations and legal considerations and all, they want to make some changes in it. As an example, I'm saying, like, you can relate anything. So they want to make some changes in the existing product, which was already developed, because insurance is a Guidewire, or it can be Duck Creek, or it can be Majesco. We have the three, as far as my explanation I'm giving you. There were many, of course. We used to use Majesco is one, Guidewire is there, Duck Creek we have. They want to customize these products according to the organizational requirements. Because product is available, features are available, modules available, features available. But that has to be configured according to the organizational requirements. That is where generally they want. Organizations need it nowadays. Many organizations are transforming. When you see the job profiles, you will be knowing that well. As far as the job description is concerned, I'm talking about. This is the first point. Second, integration. When you talk about integration, where they wants to integrate Guidewire with some other external systems or internal systems. For example, we are using some claims application where we want to integrate with some policy center to access the data, or else you want to integrate with some CRM or ERP systems. So transformation of data and all everything. So for that, integration is required. So integrating either with internal systems or external systems is always needed. To do that, right? So you need to create some APIs, application programming interface, we call it. We have to create some APIs, either it can be RESTful API or something like, so that we develop a communication between two different applications. That's where generally the concept of API is all about. So they have to integrate so that access of data or edit or modify, that can be done. So organizations require these two. One is about the configuration, and second is about integration. These are the two major areas being into organization level. You see, this is what something they want. But as in when you see a solution provider in IT services company, people who are good at development, right? So they may be good at development, programming, testing, right? So they may be good at architecture. This kind of expertise these people have. But understanding the right essence of property casualty insurance, followed by the kind of services they want, what kind of changes they want, and why are they want these changes. To understand, they require some business analyst, because business analyst is a common profile. This is nothing to do with any domain as specific, because business analysts are the people who acts as a liaison between business and technical community, to make it very simple. So they require some business analyst. What this business analyst do? Business analysts try to understand the requirements of the customer, and providing solutions for them is something which, being a BA, we do. That's what generally the role of a BA. But now and then business analyst roles are in different category, because regular BAs are different. Regular BA means a person working for an IT organization having business analysis skill sets, because you have some knowledge areas in business analysis, something like business analysis, planning and monitoring, requirement illustration, life cycle management, enterprise and strategy analysis. Different knowledge areas, like wherein to understand the requirement, translating the requirements. This is a continuous development, which being into business analysis, one has to perform. So they require some people who have business analyst skills. That is point number one. Apart from that, as in when they are working for regular IT industry, they require some people having some knowledge over the technology. Maybe relating to some projects are relating to data. So person should require some SQL knowledge or Power BI, or it can be API, or it can be XML, or it can be web services. Because when you are transforming applications, or when we are working on applications, we need to read the files, like either it will be in XML or JSON formats and all. Subsequently, we have to make some changes. So technical knowledge is becoming inevitable for a BA. That's what I'm trying to say. Second is functional knowledge. Either it can be P&C domain, or it can be healthcare, it can be banking, right? It can be of any other domain. Domain knowledge is needed, because if you want to understand the requirements, especially when you are migrating an application, first of all, you need to know the industry and what are the activities that industry performs. If you have that knowledge, so then it is easy for them to make subsequent changes in that, because ground reality and functional domain expertise is always needed. The reason why they require BA, why business analyst required, because of this reason. Because technical people may understand the technical complexity, and they can develop a logic according. That is what something which they can do. But when it comes to the understanding of requirement purpose, especially from the configuration part, because being a business analyst, we focus more on the configuration side rather than the integration. Of course, we see some requirements even for integration also, but comparing to configuration, it is limited, I can say, to my knowledge, because configurations is more needed, right? So because we need to uh, configure some data models, right? So we need to configure some rating, or it can be workflows, right? So different changes has to be made. So for that, we require some BA who should understand the needs of the customer, making subsequent changes. This is where generally we, being a BA, we do it. That is next point. Next thing I would like to tell you, like, why Guidewire is so prominent nowadays, because why can't other applications? Whether it can be Magisco, it can be Duck Creek or something. Especially Guidewire has an advantage now and then. It's a cloud application, point number one, because many organizations now and then are moving towards cloud. Not many, because if you see banking and financial institutions, still they prefer on-premise, not the cloud, because they want to maintain their own data centers for their financial data. But for as far as other services are other sectors are concerned, they are more looking towards cloud applications. They want to have some cloud applications. They want to develop some cloud applications, or they want to migrate from on-premise to cloud. Advantage is that operational cost will come down, investment will come down. Whatever the services are they are using, they can pay only for that. Their expenses can be limited. But of course, data security and all everything depends on the cloud service provider who has given us. That is anyway that is there, right? So whatever the required security that are needed by using some third-party tools, that can be done. So transforming from on-premise to cloud is something which organizations are looking nowadays. That's where generally Guideware is helpful. So if you want to transform from on-premise to cloud application, because Guideware nowadays it's a cloud, I can say, not the earlier days. Nowadays it's a cloud application where we are transforming from on-premise to cloud. That's where generally you require migration, right? So migration wherein you want to configure it, right? So you have to create a staging database so that there are some ETL people work, right? So they extract the data, they transform the data, they load the data. Different ETL tools we do, either from the ETL development purpose or testing purposes. They transform the data from old legacy systems to the new applications. That's what something which normally they do. That's what something it was all about. So as far as the migration process is concerned, being a business analyst, we should have that knowledge over the process of migrating an application from old systems to the cloud application, and understanding what are the different modules are there in the particular module we have, right? If you take Guideware, we have different modules like Guideware, Policy Center, Billing, Claims, right? So underwriting, we have different modules. So each and any module can be chosen. This is one more advantage. You don't require to hire all these. There are other modules which can integrate. Any one module can be taken. Let's say we want Policy Center to be upgraded. Claims, we are using some other application. Integration can be done later, but now we need to ended up with only what we call only configuration. Now we are doing integration. We do later. That's how generally this works. This is where generally the role of a business analyst majorly lies. I'm not specifying what skill set required for a BA, because these are all anyway I mentioned already knowledge areas. Understanding the business situation, business need, objective, goal of, at the same time understanding the scope of the project, translating the problem to the solution, right? This is a common skill set which anyway you must be learning. You must learn now, even for Guideware, because application based business analyst role we are belongs to application based BA. But still we are application based BA. We need to have the knowledge over these areas, whatever I have specified you so far. This is where generally the activities of a business analyst is majorly lies on. So we focus more on the configuration side rather than the integration side. We'll be focusing more on the configuration, where we need to configure according to the business rules of the organization. This may vary. For example, configuration, I can say one more example. A person has taken a policy where it is going on for renewal every year to year, it is going on renewal. Now, a person is not using policy for claims, right? So he is not using this for claims, etc., right? So he is not applying for claims. Now, there is a bonus amount which is called as NCB, right? It's no claim bonus, because every year whatever the annual premium they are paying, on that there will be paying some no claim bonus to the person, because he is not using that claims, yes, he is not utilizing for the claims purpose. So normally there will be some no claim bonus percentage will be announced by the company. person who has where they have taken the insurance, they will be issuing it. So that amount will be deducted from his total amount, and rest of the amount can be paid. This is the scenario. This is what the situation. Now, what organizations do, this no claim bonus percentage, this percentage may not be the same in all the times, right? Depends on their decision, what they have taken, maybe depends on the region or something like this. No claim bonus percentage may change from any time, or they are providing some brokerage as commissioning to the people, right? So to the insurance advisors, or maybe for brokerage commissions they are paying. This commissioning structure has to be clear, right? So they have to final the commissioning, right? So percentage they have to calculate. This percentage may vary, right, from a company to company. There may have some slight variation. I don't say the major one, but slight variation it can be, to provide more motivation to the people. Next, they have to provide rating. For every insurance product, there is some rating they have to give, right? So rate card has to be configured. I'm giving you some examples to you. So this is where generally you require some person who should have a detailed understanding over how property casualty insurance industry works and how it functions, in what way, and what could be the changes that are required, and what changes do we require to make. For this reason, we require some individual or a group of people where the business analyst role comes into picture. This is where generally we require a BA for any organization to do. As far as our learning is concerned now, right? So now as far as learning is concerned, I think I already shared the content, right? Repeating the same again. Initially, I start with the business analysis because we, being a business analyst, we are working as a BA. We need to have a complete understanding over the skill set of a business analyst. If somebody is having, then it's fine, but I am specifying this for the people who are transforming their career, because most of the people come for career transformation only. So people who are coming for career transformation should have this knowledge, should be knowing about the skill set of a BA, right? So what are the different activities that are required to perform? That is required. So that is what something which I cover. Followed by this, I'll give you a high-level glimpse over the property and casualty insurance domain. Next, we will be moving on to the Guidewire part. And now we have initiated this for the policy center. So my major focus is on the policy center, followed by the kind of modules, because data model we have to configure, right? So what data model is all about, right? And why is that can be done, right? So what are the different stages or steps that are required for us to make any changes in the data model? Or it can be workflows, or it can be rating. This is what something which we discuss as part of this course. This is all about this. Is it clear? Anyone?
Yeah.
Go on.
Ram, is it if the course content is handy, can you just drop it in the chat if you possible, or
1 minute.
Ravi, you can.
1 minute. I'll ask Ravi. Ravi, are you there?
Yeah, I just
Yeah, I
missed it.
shared, sir. Just now I shared
Yeah.
to
Thank
all.
you. Yeah.
Ravi shared that content to you. You can.
Yeah. I heard your couple of classes on YouTube, Ram.
Okay.
Yeah, earlier ones. Yeah.
Okay then. So, any questions? Please go ahead. Any questions, please?
I do have a question. Uh, am I audible?
Carry on. Carry on. I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So, like taking the example, since I was like working as a, you can say in a marketing department for an insurance company earlier. So, there, like if we used to have a, you can say an internal system where policy code generation and policy issuance uh, related you can the code generation and the policy issuance was doing within a system, so that particular system can also be integrated with Guidewire, right?
Yes, because you are talking about the policy center. application, or external application you are asking for, internal application. Am I right?
Yeah, internal
Yeah, that can be integrated.
if I'm not wrong, if I'm not wrong, that can be considered as a policy admin system, right?
Admin
Internally.
system they were using for a long time that they want to integrate with Guidewire, with any other module. That's all part of integration part.
Okay. Yeah.
Integration. Configuring means configuration you are doing first of your time. Okay, configuration. You're configuring according to your requirements. This is
Okay.
configuration. Integration means
Okay.
you're integrating this application with either any internal or external system. That's what something we do later.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
different.
Yeah.
That's different. This is different.
Thank you.
Understood?
Yeah.
Next. Any questions, please?
So are we not touching the policy billing or any integrations?
No, actually, policy center, we are focusing not on the billing part.
Billing or
But I
claims, is
focus
it?
more on the configuration side.
Okay.
Because
One more
configuration
question.
major requirement for VA is more for that rather than
Okay.
integration. Because integration
Yeah.
again, people should have a knowledge over API, right? So a person should have some technical knowledge at least to start with. Otherwise, we need to speech to tell them from the basics, which is like because API, different APIs we have, right? So again, API integration. Of course, API testing, that's a different thing. We use different tools like
No,
Postman.
from a BA perspective, it won't be needing that
It won't be needed.
detail.
Integration is not required much, but we focus more on the configuration side. We do focus more on the configuration. We don't focus on the integration side. We focus more on the configuration. That's what something we do. Because initially to start as a business analyst, we require. Yes, Nikhil, I'm coming to you. 2 minutes. So
Sure.
initially as a business analyst, our role is more prominent in the initial stages of the application development, not a later on, right? So once it starts being used by the people, any changes, then that's a different thing. But initially to start with, as far as this transformation, because organizations don't do all the modules. Okay, they will do the modules once and again. Okay, they don't do all the modules at a time. Normally,
They do, but
organizations.
they do parallel, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. That because assume that, for example, they were already configured the application or some that point of configuration they may require integration that can be done even they want they
Yeah,
can.
but there is dependencies, and it is not always the policy center that we will be asked to work on.
Mm. And that's the reason,
Right.
the reason why many organizations nowadays are asking at least 2 to 3 modules experience, not one. Some people are
Okay.
asking not only policy center, I want to have experience in policy center and claims or policy center and billing or claims and billing, right? So they will ask at least, I could see nowadays, not earlier, but nowadays I could
Yeah.
see not one
That's
because,
the key reason why I was trying to
most
focus
now
on.
and then I can say like they are asking all the 3 modules.
Yeah, mainly because the suit, I think.
The total complete insurance suit, they are expecting you to have the knowledge. But
Yeah.
practically, to what extent people have, it's a question mark. See, it's end of the day depends on the industry what we are working on and what
What?
responsibilities are we rendering it.
Correct.
There is a
Correct. Yeah,
limitation for that.
because what I see from either developers or BS or even iteration managers, if they have worked in one line, it is usually the same line they will be referred to work on
Absolutely,
because
yes.
that is the experience they were worked on.
For example, person is having 3 modules experience. Why should that person will change the job? There is no point. Even
Correct.
when having a module experience, one module experience is something required nowadays. If you have 3 modules, then nobody will go for transformation. So that won't arise at all. That is only specified for the people who are managing their experiences and who wants to transform their career, right? So they may have
Yeah.
facing the challenges. Person working in line as a guide where they don't require all that.
Yeah, and will we be just touching at least some basics on
Integration.
Post implementation of there is
Yes.
maintenance cycles, right? Which
Yes.
is similar, but change management and so on.
Because see, major point to be noted as far as the application role business analyst, more focus being a application based BA is admin activities. We do the administrative work, okay, workflows, right? So filters, configuration, okay, that's what something we do, maintenance kind of thing. So some knowledge over that is important. That's what generally I teach.
The content is relevance, the relevance on the version is cloud based or on-prem related.
Cloud based.
Okay. So cannot.
On-premise long back, Hanmant,
Yeah, got
not
it.
now. Because earlier it was long back. It's just long story.
Yeah. So because so is it the same that even the admin data loads anything that
See,
we have to?
the versional may change, but minor changes you can see, but you don't see the major changes. That's what I say.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe some slight variation from purpose. But nowadays cloud, because the cloud integrations, cloud deployments are happening. Earlier it used to have a separate systems for that to do the deployments and all. Now we are using Kubernetes because we are moving towards cloud and our teams are DevOps teams nowadays. They are using cloud, right? So they are using Kubernetes, all that stuff to do the virtual deployments, all. Those are all the slight changes where you can see nowadays.
Mhm.
More to have some knowledge over the technology is becoming inevitable for BA. There is no functional BS anymore. That was done already.
Yeah,
Now more
techno
like
functional. Yeah.
more functional. Those days have gone now. So rather than functional BA, need to have some technical knowledge is also becoming inevitable for the organizations to perform.
So, I mean, it's a bit tricky for me to understand what the interviewers usually want because I attended the interviews focusing on whether it is
Interview is more
policy
focused
or
on the
billing
scenarios.
or
Scenario.
yeah,
They will give
yeah,
you a scenario. Scenario based questioning will be there more, right? So let's say, for example, how you are defining the rate card, right? So what are the steps that are you are following, right? So are these rate card configurations you are doing the same for country to country or region to region, right? So
yeah,
how you
Excel
are
sheets,
gathering the requirement,
rate sheets.
rate sheets, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So these kind of questions, these questions are tricky to answer unless you have a depth knowledge over that. We don't get the knowledge.
Yeah, the generic questions that I have faced, I mean, I hope, I'm sure we will be covering. The
Generic
generic
questions always.
pattern I faced is
Workflow pattern or activity pattern.
yeah, what you do in this case, what you do, what I mean, for example, what you did so far.
Yeah.
What are the few? Let me know few scenarios. What did you do as a BA? I mean, few user stories. Explain.
Workflow patterns. They may ask you for different business processes. There are different workflows we have. They will ask you questions on that, so that we need to answer it.
Okay.
That is different. Understood? Clear? Is it clear, Hanmantra?
Yeah. I'll go through the content and we'll
Okay.
try to reach if there are any questions.
Mr. Nikhil, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so recently I appeared in an interview. So that was regarding for the claims module. So what they asked like basic insurance knowledge and BA knowledge. So that was up to the mark, but they at the end they asked about the claim center. Basically for the Guidewire, they required a person for the claim center. So just wanted to know like nowadays. Uh, are companies looking which are particularly for insurance domain, are they looking for BAs which are having hands-on experience or knowledge for all the modules for Guidewire or
It
any
depends. It
specific?
depends, Nikhil, because may some organization they want expert in claims, right? So some organizations they want in 2 modules or in 3 modules. That is their requirement. That
Okay.
cannot be related for everyone. But at least
Okay.
one or two modules is becoming mandatory. That is what I could see. That is what I can say to you. One module, no. At least one or two modules. Two modules are always, for example, if they want policy center, you can apply for jobs. If they want claims, you can apply for. But in
Okay.
reality, normally a person working in the real environment for Guidewire, it won't happen that way, right? So if you are in the policy center most of the times, you will be expertise SME in policy center only, right? So having
Okay.
experience in claims rarely happens in real world, I can see. But
Yeah.
the industry requirement is industry requirement, so that cannot be questioned, right? So
Yeah, because I
better,
wanted to. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption.
yeah. What I can say is that at least one to maximum two are important to have the safe side that we can do.
Okay. Okay.
Do you agree, Ram, that policy is where majority of the work happens and majority of the
Because
work is also
initially
on the
the
policy?
policy is the base one, right, Harmantra? Policy is the base for any work to be initiated. So policy center is mandatory thing for everyone. And now and then most of the people are going for claims also. Claims module due to the delay in the earlier claim systems and due to the irregularities on the claim payments, right? So they are moving to claims also. If I ask me, policy center claims, these are in 1-2 positions, I can say. Many people, I don't 100%, I'm not subject to correction, right? So, yeah. Any questions? Any questions?
Not from me for now.
Okay. Nikhil,
No, as of now. Yeah.
Ram, and Sharma,
No questions. Thank you.
Ram. Okay, this is all session for today, right? So
Yeah, Ram, one last question. How many sessions is it going to
this
be,
will be
roughly?
for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So
Like,
I
would I
tell
say
you in
20
hours. It
classes?
will be for 20 hours of duration.
Okay,
20
each
hours.
class is 1 hour. Okay.
20 hours. Yeah, like that.
And is it
20
going to
hours
be
will be the
regressive training
duration of
or
conducts.
is it going to be regressive training or else it's going to be, let's say that only touch up
Sorry.
training? Is it going to be regressive training? I mean, say in-depth training.
See, there is no in-depth. Application access is important. On that application access, if I am teaching you, that's called as in-depth.
Yeah.
There's nothing like in-depth because see, there is no barrier for technology, right? So because if you focus more on the integration, there are a lot of things to be learned. Whatever is, that's the reason why this course is meant for business analyst, policy center, BA. Whatever is relating for the business analyst will be covered here. That is my major agenda, not from the developer side or from the tester side. Underline this.
Yeah, I understood that.
And focus
In
means more
all
on the
the
configuration side.
okay.
Ram, will we be covering the documentation part?
Yeah, that's what
You,
initially I do because I'll give some case study to you. I'll give a case
Mhm.
study. I'll give a case study in the beginning of the BA classes and all. I'll give you some projects or a case study of mine. Okay, wherein you
Okay.
need to work on the documentation because there should be some example to do the documentation or writing user stories or something to prepare some UMLs and all. You require some project. I'll give you the project from my side. You can use it. You can work on it. I will assist you. I will guide you so that you guys can work on it. That comes first. That's what something which I start with slowly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Sharma,
Hi.
please go ahead.
Yes, so just wanted to know, so because I worked with Policy Center and I'm looking to get into, Policy Center PA, so would there be any assistance in terms of the interviews? Will there be any interview prep that you'd be able to help us with?
So by end of the course, I will conduct some interview based because interview based questions are something that I don't conduct as separate. Part of the learning only scenarios you will be learning because that's what I have spoken to Harmantrao some time back. because scenario-based learning is more important. Dealing with different scenarios is what something we do. When you have given the case study, all these things will be part of it. And finally, end of the class, there will be a one session I'll be taken as separate nowadays, only for interview orientation. Orientation, what kind of questions you come across and how do you answer it? Because again, depends on years of experience you are putting in. Because as in when I see in the market, especially global market, they are expecting a person to have not less than 6 to 7 years of experience. That's what something majority of people doing, right? So whether they have knowledge or not, that's a different thing altogether. वो अलग बात है. But many people were putting somewhere around 6 to 7 years of experience. So the kind of questions you will be asking them for a senior profiles may vary. Means mid-level profile. I mean to say that may vary. And you're comparing with the basic. That scenario-based learning will be there, part of the training. Because business analyst itself is a scenario. If you are a Guidewire developer, then it's a different story altogether. But for BA, it's required. The scenarios as I stated, right? So rate cards or how you're doing it, right? So that scenarios you will be learning. Scenario is nothing but an interview. Both are same because there they will tell you the scenario. They'll tell you how you have done this, right? So what business roles you have identified so far. So can you give me an example for a business role, what you have done recently in your project? Sometime back, I told you about no claim bonus. They will ask you the scenario where you have to explain. There were many scenarios like that.
So you mean
Understood
to say
clear?
that you are going to cover up almost all the scenario based
Yeah.
questions
Scenarios,
in the training
most
itself?
scenarios. 100% I cannot say, but as far as our duration is concerned, because this see when I'm teaching the scenarios comes sometimes. This is not something because if I want to give an example, I must give an example from the scenario perspective. I cannot generalize the statement, right? So there you will be learning more. That's where major role is. That's where major point lies. That's the point. Do you understand? Clear?
Yeah, Ram, I'm guessing you are working somewhere, right? And the
Earlier, not now.
oh,
Not
okay,
now.
okay.
Earlier.
Mrs. Sharma, you said you were working on Guidewire as a user.
Get
Yes.
well.
Mind if I ask who is the client? Just curious.
TD. So that's the company that I'm working for. TD
Which one?
Bank. TD Insurance.
Oh, TD. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'm planning to apply within TD itself because I'm working with TD as an insurance advisor, and that is why I wanted to upskill and get into the PA role. So I think if I am able to work on some projects, it will help me, kind of build my case, and I'll be able to, go for interviews. So that's the plan.
Oh, I guess even internally.
Yes.
That's okay. Canada has a lot of openings these days.
Yes. Luckily. So yes, I hope I'm able to get into that role. And there's
Got
a lot of competition as well.
yeah, no, okay. Okay. All right. I left a message there on the chart if you
Okay then. Right?
yeah. Yeah.
So have a great day. We'll meet next time.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you,
then.
Ram.
Bye.